We now then move to the regular City Council meetings of November 9th, 2009. Mr. Gallagher.
Yes, if you would consult your backup materials, which I believe is E1, in there you'll find the regular City Council meeting, and you want to go to page 8 of 17. This is regarding the Target Ordinance 09-65, the rescinding of the 2009 property tax abatement for property located at 1111 Macomb Drive. Last motion on page 8 of 17, we just need to make a correction there.
And that correction would be?
On that one, where it says motion for Alderman Simpson moved to waive second reading of Ordinance 0956, seconded by Alderman Keller. Motion failed 4-3 on roll call vote. That actually should read motion passed, because there was an actual aye vote that should transfer over. Simpson voted yes on that, and I went back and I checked the video from that meeting, so we need to update that minutes and move him over. Now, I don't know if you would call it passed, but that would push it into a 4-3.
Which particular vote?
The second vote that came up, and it was for a motion to waive second reading.
Motion 4 on the top of 8 of 17.
Motion 4 at the top of page 8 of 17 in the minutes.
So Simpson voted
Yes.
aye.
Absolutely, he did.
Right. That's the way that I recorded in the ordinance when I made the change, but so we'll correct the minutes on that.
So would help me understand then, if then would it then be looked at as 4-2 with the alderman voting, or would it be looked at as 4-3 with the mayor also weighing in too?
Well, that's a further complication that we discovered subsequent to this meeting. For all of the years that I've been on the council, going back as far as I'm aware, the mayor has always been a participant in the vote on the override of the second reading. When this issue came up, it was raised by a constituent. I looked at the code and discussed this with the city attorney, and the definition of council is council's present would be just the alderman, not including the mayor. And so the way the code is written, the mayor should not be participating in the override vote. So for all of these years, we've been doing it wrong, apparently, for God knows how many years. The upshot of that is that without the mayor's vote, it is 4-2, and that would have passed under those circumstances.
So it's almost like an instant replay in the NFL now as you go back and review the tape, right? And that's my main thing that I want.
Well, no, actually, but first, not a review of the tape. It's actually, it was 4-3 in if the mayor is voting. It's 4-2 without the mayor voting.
Dave, please. Mr. Didier, Ms. Didier, would you like to explain a little bit from a legal point of view how we found this and what the ramifications are?
Well, the ramifications are, is this on?
Yeah.
All right. As Steve explained, in section 2.04, subparagraph E, it says that there shall be a second reading of all ordinances at the next regular meeting following the first reading. The requirements of this subsection may be waived by the affirmative vote of 2/3 of the members of the City Council present at the meeting as to any particular ordinance. As he stated, for decades and decades and decades, the mayor has always been called on to vote as a member of the City Council to waive second reading. When a citizen brought this up, when we did some more research and we went and read that, then we needed to find the definition of City Council, members of the City Council. If you look at section 2.01A, it says, with the exception of stating voting requirements as reflected in section 202, the term City Council shall mean the mayor and 7 aldermen. Then if you go down to, this is complicated, if you go down to section 202, it says, for purposes of stating voting requirements in this chapter only, the term City Council or Council shall mean the alderman, and the term corporate authority shall mean the mayor and alderman. So, because it was for voting requirements, the city council should have only meant the 7 aldermen. Now, well, right, 6 because there were 6 present at that meeting. Now, I don't know if the code has actually said this for years and years and years, or if somehow when the last changes were made, it used to say corporate authorities, and then it was changed to city council. I don't know, but that's what it says now. So technically, second reading should have been waived. We shouldn't have called the mayor to vote. But the remedy for that is we obviously can't go back and have second reading 2 weeks ago. We have to bring it back for second reading tonight, and that's what we're doing.
Just to clarify something, that with the description talking about the city council shall inherently mean the 7 aldermen and the mayor, right?
Correct.
And then in that one subsection over there, 204E, that talks about the city council will vote on these different things, right? Yet in 202, it states right there the mayor doesn't vote on any ordinances specifically in 202.
It depends on what the subject matter is, and if there's something specific in Chapter 2 where it uses the term city council in the text of voting, then the mayor would not vote.
So we'll go about some of this
Yes.
with the municipal ordinance. And then how will we go about then amending this or correcting this particular vote within this motion 4 up here? How do we go about restating that then?
Well, the one thing is that Simpson should just be moved over to the ayes, is my understanding.
Right, the numbers are correct listed in here.
The numbers are correct.
It was with the mayor voting, as we discussed, it was 4 aye, 3 nay with the mayor, and then 1 absent. But it was just the name was placed Simpson's name was placed under nay instead of aye, even though it was counted in the 4 count.
So it'll still say motion failed 4-3.
Correct.
It will say that.
But but see, that's the irony of it, is that under those circumstances, that's what was declared. The mayor declared that failed because of the presumptions that we were making. So it was declared failed, but as we're acknowledging, it shouldn't have been. So the minutes would reflect what we stated.
What happened.
What happened.
All we need to do is correct the minutes. It failed.
No, we didn't want it. They didn't want it to fail.
Well, hold on a second. Dave, go ahead. Dave?
If you had recorded that it was 8-3 or 6-3 and there was an extra vote in there, you take out the one that didn't count. And so therefore the second reading is, it was waived at that point. Either way.
It should have been waived.
It should have been.
We didn't
but
waive it, though.
But we're correcting that now.
The final vote was not taken. So.
We're correcting that now by pointing out that there was an extra vote that could not be counted by ordinance. So therefore, there's no second reading.
Well, we have to do a second reading, because you didn't vote on second reading.
We will do a second reading tonight.
have to
We will
do a
all
second
have the
reading
opportunity for a second reading tonight.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, the minutes are a reflection of what happened, even though that was.
But that
not
vote-
You would have taken one more vote after voting to waive second reading. That didn't happen. That should have happened. It didn't happen. So now we have to have a second vote.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank
It
you.
will take place tonight. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Gallagher. So that